Uh, Here we go. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to get straight through this test run real quick. Um, but for the most part, man, it was good seeing you that day, bro. You popped
Yeah,
up. I was like, oh shit, Pat in the building.
yeah, that was I mean, it's just as a basketball fan in general, it's it's weird. It's kind of like the intensity, um, like it's like I never really seen the intensity of basketball like that outside. With like there was how many people do you think were there? Like 300 people, you know?
Probably the you came to the semifinal game, right?
I went to the quarterfinal game, um, and I kind of caught like the tail end of it was like the lefty point guards team they won. They beat was it Brooklyn Tech, the green team?
Oh yeah, that was
And then
semifinal.
I stayed for like the first half of the next game. It was the basketball heads, and it was kind of a close back and forth. And yeah, I left at like halftime, and then I ended up going to the final game, and I stayed for like the whole thing on that, where
The
it was
the final
yeah.
game, it was
Yeah.
way more than 200 or 300 people, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was just crazy to me. Where it's just kind of like the first time I was like, all right, I can kind of get here near the end, find a little seat, and
Right.
that and had you not prompted everybody just to like sit down in the stands, like I think I probably would have stood because I didn't want to bother like trying to find a seat.
Right,
Um,
right.
you know,
Yeah, we just
and
try to prevent all of those things as far as, people standing on the court, um, and just making it uncomfortable for the players because,
yeah,
you know, uh, we just want to keep it a little bit more organized that way. This way the players have full range of the court and you dare to see the players. You're not there to see the people on the court.
yeah, yeah, that's true. Um, but yeah, like I was trying to describe it, like kind of just like in between halves, where it's just like it kind of felt like almost like you're going to like Coney Island. We got like people like smoking like hookah, like whatever, like rum punch, just like kind of like that frenzy in the air, sort of.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and it was just kind of crazy, and then the fans getting on the refs, and then just like you got the announcer, which the announcer is like kind of like a pivotal aspect of the whole thing because he's like
Yes.
literally like right behind the dude that's just about to shoot. Um, and it's interesting like how the crowd can kind of just favor one team or the other, and just it was just like I said, it was just kind of an experience, and I don't think I'd ever seen anything like that outside. You're like in Brooklyn, like in that particular area of the city. Um,
Well,
and
listen, in the 70s, guys like when Albert King was like the best player in the country,
yeah,
Brevoort was like the best for high school, right?
yeah,
It had that
yeah.
tradition from the 70s. And just me reading the articles and doing the history on it, like Fly Williams had the most points scored uh, in the Brevoort Coliseum, along with this guy named Taiwan, who I want to
Okay.
give props to. But he did it as a little kid, scoring 78 points in one game. And I think he did that. I think he did that at around 13 or
Wow.
14 years old. And then Fly Williams, as a senior in high school, I think, or on his way to college, scored 78 points
Wow. That's
there.
crazy. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy, man.
So like Bernard King, Albert King, Fly Williams, George Johnson, Slim Montgomery, all the Brooklyn greats, uh, Vinnie Johnson, and all of
Oh,
those
really?
guys. All of those
Oh,
guys played in the Brevoort Coliseum. And we had a guy there, man, I forget his name. Hold on, let me get his name right. Duck. He's a referee. It's a guy named Duck, right? And he mentioned, hold on, let me see if I can find this real quick clip. Because my guy Tracy came to me and was like, yo, I got somebody that want to do, they got some trivia for you. And he said it. I got the answer right, though. I said, oh, I got the answer right. But hold up.
The most points ever scored in the Brevoort in the Coliseum was 78 by James Fly Williams.
Oh, wow.
And
Okay.
I tell the kids now, you got Dykeman, you got this one, you got. But if you ain't never played in the freeboard under the legs, you ain't never played nowhere.
Yeah, you already said.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me go back. Why is this? I think I got it. Okay, here you go.
You gotta get it when you're slow. You gotta get it when you're slow. Say this again. Say who had the most points. Let's run it down there again. The most points ever scored in the freeboard in the Coliseum was 78 by James Fly Will. And I tell the kids now, you got Dykeman, you got this one, you got. But if you ain't never played in the freeboard under the legs, you ain't never played nowhere. Believe that.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Believe that.
And he said he was there the night Fly scored the 78 points. Now,
Really?
Yeah, he's an old timer and he's a referee now.
Wow.
So just to hear that, you know, it just, you know, makes me proud to, you know, to be one of the guys at the helm of this. And this weekend, I'm premiering an interview with Thomas E. Diggs Jr.
Yeah, Junior. Okay.
The guy who we named the court after.
Yeah.
He passed away.
Right.
And we're going to honor him this Sunday. We do it every year, having Diggs Day. And then later on, Sunday at 8 o'clock, I'll be premiering the interview that I had with him.
Yeah. Because it was interesting when I was there. Like, I mean, the one thing that stood out for me, I mean, that kid, he's listed at like 6'10", or like he's got to be 7 feet tall. That kid,
Yeah.
So the first time I saw him dunk, it was just like, all right, he's just gonna do whatever, and then he just like dunks the ball so that the rim is shaking for like a minute, and I'm noticing this like as it's going on, like you literally could just he would dunk it and the rim would be shaking like this, right?
Right.
And then they would go down the court and then maybe get a turnover. They get the ball back and the rim is still shaking. There was even a play where near the end where a kid, he had to shoot a layup, and I thought he was going to miss the layup because the rim was still shaking from the dunk previously. So that was kind of funny. So I was just like, man, I was curious about like the history. And when I was trying to look up anything, the only history that comes up is any of the stuff that you've been documented for like the last like 2 years. You know what I mean? There's not like a whole lot of you can't just I mean there probably is, but it's hard to find on the internet.
Yeah, I had again another one of the old timers who was on the show, and how can I get this? I have articles from the 70s that I put up on my page that I think this is one. See this?
Oh yeah. Okay.
700 players into Brevoort tournament.
Yeah. I remember seeing, because a lot of the stuff is on like Facebook, and then I was listening back to some of your podcast stuff, and there was a guy, I think it was like maybe like a year ago.
And this one right here, hold up, Pat, before you get into that. You see?
Oh,
This is Bill Travis. He covered us when I was in high school.
Yeah.
It said King Brothers, Brevoort's best.
Yeah. But the first tournament was 1974, right?
1970, I think 1973, 1972.
Okay.
I think listen, when I asked around, because Miss Carol used to live here. And I think it was 72, 73.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because a lot of that stuff was on it. I think it was more or less like snapshots of newspaper clippings. Or like the first tournament, I think it was like 74 and the 75, whatever it was. But the guy that was
that's
talking,
the one I posted, yes. Oh, you're talking about
he was like an announcer dude. And he was just kind of talking about like the history of it a little bit. It was literally one of like the first or second like off the Spotify list of podcasts.
Oh, you're talking about probably my guy Rick. But he's a little younger. I had another gentleman Oh man, so many people.
Because he was talking like, he's like, I know there's like a tape out there somewhere because it was like a 10 or 11-year-old kid scored like 54 points in the midget leagues he was talking about.
Right. Why isn't my internet coming on? This is crazy. But anyway, he was the poster boy for, oh man, what's my man's name? It's driving me crazy right now. Hold on. I'll do this real quick. Because I just interviewed him a couple of weeks back before I kind of slowed down to take a break. Tell you right now. And his story was great, man, because now he suffers from this sickness. Well, he suffered from it when he was younger, but it didn't take a toll on him until a couple of years back. And hold on. This is crazy. Wow. Forgot his name. It's gonna come to me. But he was one of the guys who kind of played here in his early years. And hold up. Okay, I know where it's at.
Let's see.
What's his name? Oh, Eric Short.
Okay.
Eric Short. Eric is now missing some fingers.
Shit.
One of his legs is off, and he persevered. I forgot the name of the sickness. David Stern worked for his mother. Yeah, thank you. E right here. Right. Eric Short. He just said it. Thank you. He's probably watching us right now.
But yeah, Rick White, that was the one that I listened to.
Yes, Rick White. Yeah. Yes. When I played and won the MVP trophy, his uncle was my coach, Norris White. And Rick was the little kid then.
So I'm curious, like, how do you pick who's gonna be like
Marfan syndrome. Thank you, Eric. Wow. Yes.
That's crazy.
An amazing. Listen, you get a chance, Pat, watch his interview. Very inspiring, and he got the history right on point. Eric Short.
Okay. Because I'm kind of just like scrolling through like some of the old ones, but like I said, that the hard thing was just a lot of the history that's documented on the internet comes directly from what you've been doing for the last like 2 years.
Yeah.
And just listen to other people kind of tell the story. Because I mean, I can only get but so much about like Brevoort houses and stuff, and then so much about like Thomas Diggs, and a lot of that information came from just stuff that you had been doing.
Yeah, it has a rich history, man. And it's no knock to any other tournament that's out there, but I don't think any tournament has highlighted the same amount of high school kids during that era. I know Brevoort haven't been rocking since the early 90s, mid 90s.
Right. Because I was kind of curious, like, how did it get sort of revived? Because it'd been like a 20-year hiatus, they were saying.
Yeah, well, me starting the show and getting the court done over by full court piece. So that helped us out a lot to where we were able to go back and find out that there were money allocated to get the Coliseum fixed. But the powers that be didn't let the people know. It wasn't until I got on board to show them that the money is there. And now we're getting a whole new facelift this coming fall.
Oh, yeah?
Wow. Oh, yeah. Brand new, big scoreboard, new floor.
Wow.
Yeah. The seats going to be, the seats are going to stay there, right? But it's going to be cleaned and repainted and all that, and done overnight. So yeah, it's when people come next year, it's definitely going to be, one of the great basketball courts again.
Yeah.
Because no one besides, I think, Dykeman and Rucker has the amount of seating that we have.
Yeah.
You got Uptown, which Lincoln Park, which I'm going up to today, which runs Smart Ball. They have a similar situation. And also Kingdom.
Okay.
But I think we have more seating than those two.
But even because that was only a couple of years ago when you guys fixed the court all up and everything, didn't repaint it.
That was the job done by the community at Full Court Peace.
Yeah, and it's I think it's cool, like I said, because it's hard to find anything written down about like the history of it, and a lot of the history is all like kind of it's oral history, so you have to actually listen to people tell the history of it in order to kind of learn a little bit more about it. And I always like the idea of like the more you talk to one person and then he's like, oh, I remember that name, maybe I'll talk to him, and there's always like more to add to the story. And I think just like as a basketball fan and like a basketball player, one of the things you brought up in the podcast with was it Rick White, is that right?
Yes.
Was just the importance of just showing up, like, and how important it is for like a player to have somebody from their, whether it's their friend, their family, their uncle, like whatever, just to show up and just watch them play, and just to have that kind of platform as a player, and have like just it would be so cool, but also like so nerve-wracking. It's so, man, it's just like I don't think there's anything I've seen like that. Just watching basketball for years, and I don't think I'd ever seen anything like that. So it was, I was just kind of happy just to be a part of it and just kind of just view it. And I'll definitely show up Sunday. I think I saw that on Instagram.
Yeah, Sunday we have a Diggs Day, and then that Saturday I'll be at St. John's Park, where they'll be having the Ballside Middle Hall of Fame induction. I know Eric Short will definitely be a part of that. Ray Haskins, I know, is being honored, and a few others. So I'm gonna go down there and show my support, because Ballside Middle definitely supported basketball heads. So I'm going to show my support and show my face and say what's up to all the people that I haven't seen in a long time.
So how do they pick who's going to be like the voice of the game? Because I know you did the late game. What was it? It was Monday, the quarterfinal game. How do you guys kind of pick who does?
Well, how it started, this year, because Rick had kind of retired from the spot. He did the All-Star game. We had picked a young guy from the neighborhood. We want somebody from the neighborhood, right? But we also wanted to be done in a way where, it's professional.
Yeah.
Guys got to be on point, and the person that sort of might have to be a crowd controller, right?
Oh yeah.
They have to be a master of ceremony. And we picked this one young man, and then he had a situation where he couldn't be there for a while, so we all kind of filled in the role. And we didn't know he was coming back, so we had planned for the championship game to be done by Rod Slime, who's the head announcer over at Zone 6.
Okay.
And who used to play for, one of our commissioners that's on staff. My guy Nate, he played for my guy Nate. And, we thought, listen, we wanted to be big. He does a lot of big games, so it's only right. And he's from the community. And it worked out.
Is it more fun to be on that end with the microphone, or is it more fun to be like in the stands, you think?
Well, I enjoy both. You know me, Pat. I don't mind being behind the microphone.
Right.
But I would rather, me personally, I would rather be in the stands, kind of capturing the moments.
Yeah.
Because sometimes being, behind the mic, you're gonna be part of the moment, but you won't be able to capture it. And for me,
true.
I would rather to capture it. And I think whoever's going to be the next person to take the helm of the mic, you know, got to be consistent, got to be a crowd controller, right?
Yeah.
Got to be a person of some substance, and we will hope that would come from the guy who was doing it day in the first place during the beginning of the season, because he didn't even know. My guy Trey kind of gave him the microphone and let him rock out, and he did a good job.
Right.
But we just talking about being consistent and being professional and knowing that this is kind of bigger than you, right?
Yeah.
This is for the community, this is for the kids, and we want to make this memorable for them, because you know it's a once in a lifetime dream to play in these situations. We got kids coming up who are, you know, 8 to 13 years old who looking forward to playing in the high school and want to have their chance, you know, to play under the lights, even though we gave some of the kids a chance to play under the lights a couple of times during the summer. So definitely, if you know, if that person doesn't work out, we definitely looking for someone else who could take the helm and, you know, kind of lead us in the right direction, so we can have one of the standout announcers. Because when you go to the main parks, the guy who's calling the game, he becomes a public figure.
Yeah.
You know, you got Fly Tie who does Gersh, one of the best. You got Ross Slime, his own 6. You got who else? You got Voice of My City and Mike Larry. They do like the Rucker and other parts uptown. And then you have my guy Cha-Ching. He's like the #1 guy who does like all the big games, you know. So look, it all works out, man. So that job is a very, very integral part of what any basketball tournament needs to be successful.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
But also it's cool to see like the little kids too. I mean, both like boys and girls, where it's like if they can kind of see that and they're like 6, 7, 8 years old, you know, practicing doing this, drilling. And I was like, holy, like some of these little girls that you know, your interaction, I was like, oh my God, like I couldn't even dribble like that when I was 18 years old, you know, as a senior in high school. But as like something to, as a goal where you can see it's like, this is where I want to be in like 5 years. You know, I want to be playing at this court in this tournament for this team, you know, scoring like that kid. And that's really cool too. Just to kind of revive that. And like the more that it grows, I think the more eyes that are on it, like the bigger it can be. And it can really get back to, like you said, its heyday, where you said it kind of died out maybe the like mid to late 90s or whatever. But yeah, and then all of the history is kind of being documented by what you've been doing for the last 2 years. So that's really cool too.
Yeah, I'm starting back up in September. So I got some really, really huge shows planned. I'm actually going to start getting my calendar set up. So I may do 2 shows a week and just upload another show and just really attack it real heavy and go full steam ahead. Same way I was doing on Instagram, doing 3 shows a day, 3 shows a week. So it'll be two shows I'll be doing live, and then I'll be uploading another one towards the end of the week. So people still gonna be getting 3 shows a week. Heavy is just the way I got to do it, you know, to compete with a lot of the other mess that's on here.
Now the basketball heads team, they went in undefeated. That was correct.
That's right. See, it all worked out. It all worked out. You know, basketball heads, the show is becoming successful. Then the first year, the basketball heads, you know, win the Brevoort championship. So yeah.
And obviously that kid isn't 12 years old, but how old is that kid? The kid who's like 7 feet tall.
He's 17. He just turned 17.
Okay.
He's gonna be a senior this year.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, he reminded me of like a Kevin Garnett mixed in with like a Chris Webber.
Yes.
That's kind of like how I saw his game. And that game was funny because, like I said, it reminded me of the Duke versus Michigan NCAA championship, and I think it was '92, where like Michigan was up a point at halftime, and then they got blown out by 20 in the second half.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny just how that game kind of went, because man, that team.
I was scared. I was kind of scared in the beginning because I was like, yo, listen.
Yeah.
And how it turned out, we didn't think we was going to have two of our guards that they was playing in another tournament, but then that tournament got canceled, and they headed right back down to Brooklyn. And if everything works out right, besides one other person, the whole team will be coming back next year.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that was a pretty solid team. And I think one of the best parts about outdoor basketball is you can only shoot but so many threes and stay in a game. And really, you got to take it to the rack just to get some points and get a lead and just get momentum. And if it were up to me, like I said, an alley-oop would be worth 3 points and get rid of that line. That would be my rule. You know? But like I said, I'd love to come out on Sunday. I'll take a look at what the times are and whatnot. And I've been trying to hang out a little bit with Chris Jones. I'll try and get him to come out too. But yeah.
I appreciate that, Pat. Thank you, man.
Yeah, appreciate you, man.
No doubt, no doubt. So, y'all, I look forward to seeing you Sunday.
Cool. Thank you
for this test run real quick.
All right. We good?
Yes, we good.
All right, I'll be in touch, man.
All right, peace.
All right, later.
Man, listen, this is where it's going down right now. Just wanted to check out this new camera that I have. Hope you guys enjoy it. Stay tuned because we got one more event coming up. That's Diggs Day on the 28th. Diggs Day on the 28th. Make sure you come down and let's end the summer with a bang. Not the violent way. Come in peace. All right? Well, I'm about to be out of here. I'm your host, Glenn Poole Harding, and you've been watching Basketball Heads Live. Peace.